Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Goal Gaming. Tonight you are joining myself and Goal for another episode of Modders and Modding. We're joined by the one and only Clon from the Pegasus Chronicles, who is co-lead and project manager for this mod. Hello Clon.
Hi guys.
Hello.
And of course you all know Goal. Hello Goal.
Oh hi.
Oh,
How you doing?
You're alright. You're having a good evening, I take it.
I'm having a very good evening. I'm watching what's going on the street, on the screen. Yes, that's the one.
The screen.
And it's exciting. I'm enjoying it. Oh.
It's because of Stargate. And to be fair, we don't often get to really look at Stargate. It's a bit better than Babylon 5 in the sense that there are mods for it, but there's not as many mods as people think, and that's I think it's a real shame, because to me Stargate represents one of the other great sci-fi loves of my life. And I'm sure it does for you as well, yeah. And I'm sure it does for you, Clon, right? Because Stargate.
Yeah, of course. I'm into this many years now, and I'm pretty happy that you are guys having us so we can present our mod here on your channel. Thanks for that.
We can't wait. Yeah. Much like the Wraith, and here we go. We've got a pun incoming here, a fantastic pun. Much like the Wraith, we can't wait to get hands-on with this. Oh!
He's full of all the humour. All
right, it was bad.
It was pretty bad. I got to admit. I'm sure Colon's heard worse in his time. So let's be honest. We're not here to just talk about skirmish battles. We're actually here to talk about the first Galactic Conquest mode tonight. And I must say, I have been waiting so long, Clon, for a Galactic Conquest mode for this mod. That I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm like giddy like a schoolgirl at this point in time, because it's coming. You guys are working hard on it, and I appreciate that you've let us have a kind of first glance at it tonight. So I think, shall we load in, and then I know that Goal's got some questions he wants to ask you as we're going through and showing off.
I have
this Galactic Conquest mode. So
I have. While we're loading in, do you want to tell us about Pegasus Chronicles in general, and tell us what it is and what it's all about, Clon?
Yeah, sure. So Pegasus Chronicles is a total conversion modification for Empire at War, so Star Wars Empire at War, which was released in back 2006, if I recall correctly. And actually, shortly afterwards, our mod commenced the first time. So the first release was on the after a while we moved to the newer Forces of Corruption add-on to have 3 fractions inside. So at the moment we have the Ta'uri, so humans and Asgard allied, then the Goa'uld and the Wraith.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, so basically we will do not only replacing all the assets of the original, but also inventing our own stories and adding some new models to factions where it is actually needed, so for the balancing. But overall, we wanted to stay as true to the series as possible, so there are not too many custom-made ships from our point of view, but every time we felt it's necessary to, as I said, have a proper balancing inside, we put them in. So you will have far more custom-made ships on the Wraith side you might not recognize from the series, but a bit less on the Ta'uri and Goa'uld side.
I see, yeah. That's actually one of the things I get most excited about, to be honest with you. I love seeing series that have got a decent amount of kind of matter to look at, but they can't fill every role. It really excites me seeing what modelers and what modders in general will come up with in order to fill the gaps in any game engine. So I really hope we can look at a couple of those, I suppose you might want to call them kit bash models or unique models to Pegasus Chronicles in a little while. And it looks like we are now on the Galactic Conquest map. So let's see what we have and see who and what we're playing as, shall we? Take it away, Bane.
So tonight we're playing as the Ancients. So we have an ancient fleet. This is actually set, this Galactic Conquest, in as a prelude to kind of the future Galactic Conquest, I believe. And so we've got the Ancient War against the Wraith, as and when it happens. So you'll see quite a lot of ancient ships, obviously. And I'm quite excited by this, because that means lots of cool pew-pew, as I like to call it, or fire. So hopefully in a minute we're going to be able to get into a battle. I'm going to attempt to take my fleet and find combat. And hopefully get everyone really excited. Last time I did this, I got massacred miserably by the Wraith, I will add, but I'm going to try and... I'm trying to try and not upset people.
Power is now online.
And interestingly, one of the things I did find out is obviously the puddle jumpers can't actually move without a fleet, so that's one of the things I found really kind of interesting and, as I played through it the first time around. So,
now one thing that you'll note here, before we go into the battle, you can see at the top left-hand corner there, it's telling you a little bit of a storyline narrative. You can see they're currently developing a new type of ship on... there is a planet, but we can't see the whole name of it. The prototype is nearly finished. It's all right. Now, this is... Oh, here we go. Look at that. As far as I can tell, this is fairly unique to Pegasus Chronicles, having played quite a few Empire at War mods. And you've put story elements within each age, haven't you, Clon?
Yep, that's true. Actually, we had some unique events and storylines in the original mod for the vanilla game as well, but we wanted to stress this aspect for Pegasus Chronicles, Pegasus Prelude a bit more, because, well, this GC, which is currently still in development, is coming without the ground part. So it's space only, but, to hide this fact a bit, we decided, okay, let's put some cool stories and tactical events there to keep the people playing it. So it has a story. I won't spoil all of it, but as you can see, we start as the race and we are defending us against the Wraiths. And therefore, well, you can see a new ship class might be ready, so you might have give it a try or not. So it's pretty much up to the player to decide how to proceed in this war.
And I love that. I love the fact that you're actually giving it some kind of progression, because many of you who've played lots of Empire at War itself or Empire at War mods, as I'm sure many of you who are watching this will have done, you'll know that generally you start with a set amount of planets and then your goal is just to kind of expand and destroy your enemies. This gives you a subset of goals, which means this planet over here might be far more valuable for you to take, meaning you'll have to totally rearrange your forces in order to do so. And I think that's really exciting. Like I think the subject focus of this story segment is it Tyrannus there?
Yeah.
And the defense of Tyrannus until a new ship is ready, which is awesome stuff. So should we get into the battle so we can have a good look at the ships?
I was waiting for you to say that.
I'm sorry, I know I do jabber.
I like seeing pew especially when ancients are involved.
More Daka for Bane.
Exactly. This is my awesome fleet.
Are you all right, sir?
So, as everyone who watched Stargate Atlantis for quite a while will notice by now that they won't recognize all the ship types which are in there. So that is one of the good examples where we put in some additional ship types to, enhance the fleet to a level which is actually fun playing it.
And I love it. I mean, I love the little puddle jumpers. I always think they're fantastic. But the meat and potatoes of any Empire at War mod is got to be the cap ships. So I think you've done a lovely job of that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And here we go. We're going towards the enemy. Hopefully.
I'm very slowly going towards the enemy. I'm sorry.
Now I'm probably going to get lynched as a result of saying this, but the kind of the bomber squadron-y looking fellow. Yeah, that one. Can we have a look at those? Are those actually canon?
No, those are actually battle drones we invented to because we thought, okay, the ancients were on the defense war against the Wraiths. And they don't have, enough people, and therefore they might have, relied more on automatic battle systems, which we came up with these automatic drone.
That's really cool. There are precedents for that as well, like the unmanned stations and things like that. So that's absolutely fantastic, and it's nice that you're kind of you're reinvigorating the lore of Stargate in order to make sure that it fits both the game and the gameplay that you require. I love it. Right, looks like we're going to the northeast. So I realised that you've been developing for a long time. Is it 6 years now, isn't it?
10.
Was it 10 years altogether?
Yep,
Blimey.
10 years altogether, including the old version for the vanilla.
Of course,
Inside
2006. You're quite right. Yeah. So what made you, as a group, think Stargate is the one? This is what I want to do.
Well, basically, it was kind of a short-minded decision. Basically, everyone who started the mod was looking for a nice Stargate game, which was pretty rare and still is. So we decided simply, or the original founders of the group decided, well, let's do it by ourselves then. If nothing is there, we can do it by ourselves.
Ooh. And we're very, very fortunate that you did. I mean, there's been a lot of potential Stargate games in the past, haven't there? But very, very few of them have actually come to fruition. So, I mean, we're really, really lucky that a group of modders has actually come along and said, yeah, we're actually going to do it, as opposed to some of the other projects that never made it off the ground. So, it's excellent. And a few lovely things that you're seeing here. You're seeing, of course, the Wraith fighting the, are they called the Azurans?
Yes.
Yes.
They are the Azurans. Or the Ancients.
Or the Lantians, or the
Ancients.
Ancients.
Or the Ancients.
Well, loads of names.
They got loads of names.
But one of the things I really like about this, what we're watching now, is the little, what are they called? The little drone weapon thingy-majiggies. What are they called?
Drones. That's correct.
Oh, there we go, drones.
They're drones.
There we go. I absolutely love the particle effects for those, and I think they're really, really well done. Is it a particular gentleman that came up with that, or was that kind of a decision for the entire group?
Well, in the series, there is a battle where the team from Stargate Atlantis, or from the Atlantis expedition, found an old ancient spaceship. And in the battle where they used it, you actually can see these drones flying around and, well, acting like something alive, basically, like a swarm. And we wanted to have that as well. So we put in quite some work to, well, mimic this behavior of this swarm. And we're actually quite happy with the results.
I am.
We really hope the people in the community like it as well, because it's a bit different than it was in the original mod. But now it's, well, easier to control for us, so it's easier to balance and stuff. So we hope everyone enjoyed it as it is.
I think it's fantastic, and I think it's really nice that you've attempted that, because traditionally Empire at War doesn't necessarily allow for sprites, or that many sprites that operate in that way, does it? I mean, they don't usually look like a swarm, so it's really good that you've managed to do that. Of course, everybody decided that they wanted to do a Stargate mod. Now, of course, Empire at War had recently come out, but what made you choose that as a platform as opposed to any other game?
Well, at the time where we start the mod in 2006, the game was pretty recent, as I said before, and well, it's quite a unique experience. So you have the different layers, you have the different gameplay mechanics, so the battles on the maps and the galactic screen, etc. And that we thought, well, it's a pretty great foundation. So we basically throwed everything out in regards of assets, and then replaced it with Stargate, and it, well, turned out quite nicely.
It really, really did, and I think Empire at War, it's stayed the test of time very, very well. Considering this is, as we say, a 10-year-old game now, I think it's done remarkably well. In fact, Bane and I were discussing this. Oh, you're going to get wrecked, Bane. Bane and I were discussing this. Actually, more recent competitor for the Empire at War style of gameplay, which is actually quite upsetting. Like that, you've kind of got two sides of the coin now. You've either got very, very active, kind of traditional strategy games, which are very much active management the whole time, or conversely, you've got games like Stellaris, which are kind of they're very focused on empire management, and the actual battle doesn't come into it. And there doesn't seem to be that perfect happy medium that you found with Empire at War, and it's a shame, really, isn't it, that there isn't a new game engine that can do everything that this can do.
Yeah, that's totally right. Well, I have to admit, I think Empire at War aged fairly well, and we always try to push the limits of the engine and everything with the models and effects, etc. we put in. So
You seem
it's still something you can watch without getting eye cancer from my perspective. So as I said, it's aged quite good, and it still has a very strong community and people that are demanding mods for these ones. So we are very happy that people still following us actually after 10 years. So it was obviously the right decision to take this game.
No, you're absolutely right. It really was the right decision to take this game because it's given you everything that you want. It's given you the just for the kind of the Stargate universe. It's given you that tactical feel of going from place to place, which of course in an episodic way that you saw in Stargate. And also it's given you that kind of the raw, beautiful space battles, which is exactly what you want. It's got it all going on. It's a bit like Stacey's mum, but sorry, had to whack it in there. I'm on form with the puns today. So back to the questions before I go totally insane. How many developers have you got working on the mod at the moment, and is it all the same developers as it has been in the past, or have you kind of changed as time's gone by?
Yeah, we have pretty much changed the team during the last 10 years. So at the moment we have about 13 devs from around the world. So we started off as a, mainly German team at the very beginning, but that changed pretty fast. So at the moment we have people from the Czech Republic, Hungary, Sweden, French, American, Australians, and so many people who are willing to support us. I'm very sorry if I missed someone now, and but we had about 30 other which we lost on the way till now for different reasons. So life goes on. Some of them got a family by now or needed to go to university, stuff like that. So totally no hard feelings there. Time comes where you mod, and time goes where you mod.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. We had to take a short pause, but we are now back watching Bane's total destruction.
Winning.
Yeah, you're not going to win it. Oh, you might. You might.
Yeah, but your fleet is pretty doomed.
You've got a pretty decimated fleet, yeah.
Yeah, but so
we'll see about that.
Little faith in in Bane's abilities to conquest.
Oh, girl of little faith.
I've got a little faith.
Are you all right, sir? You seem sincere.
So back to Klon. Now you've been working with the Empire at War community at large for a long time. And how have you found the community overall to be? Are they extremely supportive? Do you communicate with them a great deal?
Yeah, we started on a custom web page something at the very beginning, but soon after we actually set up a profile at moddb.com, and so that was for the next few years our main channel of communication. And we have even now people which are with us since the last 10 years. So as I said, this community is very amazing, and we are really happy that we can do something for them.
Traditionally, I think ModDB tends to be a good community, and there are a lot of people who like sci-fi games that kind of they very much bridge the divides. In my personal experience, like I know a lot of people who enjoy Sins mods, as you can imagine, from SDA3. They're also really into Empire at War mods, and of course we do get a lot of chatter about this mod as well. So. We know how good the community can be, and particularly with the use of a site like ModDB, it's extremely useful. So, what we've been doing for the last 20 minutes now, or 10 minutes or so, is we've been playing a Galactic Conquest. So, to our understanding, is this the first Galactic Conquest, and what can we expect from it when it's released?
Yeah, indeed. For Pegasus Chronicles is indeed the first Galactic Conquest, and you will be able to play it either at the Ancients, as you do now, or on the Waste side. And obviously the Waste have the goal to destroy Atlantis, and the ancients wants to defend it. That's pretty much the rough idea.
They'll
Well,
never
it's a
destroy
really good idea.
Atlantis. Never. It's not while I've got something to do with it.
They'll never take me alive. But can we expect further story elements like that we've been showing in this to kind of continue throughout the storyline on both sides?
Yes, of course. So there is a pretty unique story for both sides because we pretty much invented the whole story. Because in the series we were only told that there was this war, and we know which side lost, and that's pretty much everything we know. So everything between that we made up. So on both sides we have these custom events and tactical missions, etc., that will lead up or lead you through this whole story.
Ah, that's absolutely perfect. And kind of from the Wraith's perspective, does it start when they're already a power, or does it start kind of fairly early on for them in their becoming a power?
Yeah, more at the beginning, kind of a middle ground. So you won't start as a bug, but you will have only the basic ships at the beginning, and then you try to cover some grounds in the galaxy, and well, then the whole idea from the race is to overcome the enemy in numbers. So that is what you aim for, to get bigger, better.
Yeah, so it's quantity over quality. So you decide as a player which idea that you subscribe to.
Hello. Hello, my city ship has arrived.
Hyperdrive modification commands have been
There it is.
successfully
Oh, look at that
entered.
model. I love that.
Why are there suddenly Wraith ships everywhere? They weren't there a minute ago.
Because Tyrannus.
Oh, maybe I can detect them now. Maybe.
There we go. Is that the reason? Does the city ship have a larger detection range, allowing you to see more?
Yeah, and actually, I think you built something that is able to detect the ships on the nearby systems, but I'm not quite sure now.
That's a big fleet.
That is a huge stack, and it's coming your way.
Hyperdrive construct
So,
modifications are
what kind of
commencing,
challenges
sir.
have you met while one trying to develop the game itself, or the mod, I should say? See, I'm already calling it a game. And of course, with the Galactic Conquest, because this is something fairly new to you guys, have you met any significant challenges on the way that you've had to overcome?
Yeah, actually, we, the Stargate, the Event Horizon, is behaving in a special way, and we wanted to mimic that as well. And it took quite a long time to do so. We actually programmed a custom shader for that, so it's that it behaves more like water, because there was no good shader in the actual game. So that was one challenge. Then we experimented quite a bit with a custom game mode, which was called Command and Conquer battle style. So you actually can build your buildings by your own, because in Empire at War, it's set up for you in which location you can actually place buildings. So that's fixed, and that was something we wanted to work around. It worked out quite nicely, but the AI was not able to use it, and it was causing some other issues, so we stepped away from using that by now, but that is still in our mind, so we might follow that path again in the future. But and for specifically these Galactic Conquest, one of the main things is that these special scripted events and missions actually take quite a long time to first, came up with it, and then to test and debug them if something goes wrong. So this is all based on Lua scripting. And,
of course, yeah. So you've got to make sure you get all your conditions right.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that takes quite some time, and if everything's work, it's great, but to debug the whole story, it's it takes ages.
Are you all right, sir?
It looks like your shields are down on your city ship.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Spain's aim is in this Galactic Conquest by now.
I think getting wrecked. I mean, that's what he usually does. I mean, every time I play computer games with him, he just gets sticked all over. So,
Run away. Just run very fast. That's
press
a
the
long
retreat
race.
button. There is no retreat.
I can't press it.
Yeah, it's a cooldown, but you can now.
Go, 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 go! Let's just hope they don't take the engines.
Run, Delphi, run!
Flee for your lives! Oh, there we go. I quite like the little panning shot of the Wraith darts coming past there. It's like they were almost chasing you. So, when it comes to Galactic Conquest, of course, you are doing this one, as we know. Are you planning on any other Galactic Conquest to follow in the future?
Yes, of course. So after that one, we will focus a bit more on the ground part because we need it for the other Galactic Conquest. But once we have the ground skirmish ready, kinds of Galactic Conquest. So in the universe we know, so like the Ta'uri versus the Waze and the Goa'uld on a bigger scale, on a smaller scale, with many events, with less events. So we try to pretty much cover every style of playing this game as possible. So that will obviously take another while, but that's at least the idea.
Of course, of course. Now, you've just touched on something that I do want to talk about at the end of this battle, so I will save that for a couple of minutes. But one thing I did want to ask you is, now, as pretty much everybody who plays Empire at War knows, there is an era progression system that is inherent, if you like, or a technology progression system that is inherent to Empire at War. Are you planning on using that in any unique or different ways, or is it going to be straight up research?
Well, we are not quite decided on that yet, because it would be actually easier to have a straight up research system. But at least the long-term goal is to have the fractions we have inside fairly unique as well. So that the Ta'uri maybe have some missions to accomplish to get new stuff from the Goa'uld like they did in the series, and that the Goa'uld need to, try to understand some ancient artifacts, because they pretty much steal everything from them, including the Stargates. And, something like that. But as this will require some additional time, we... as I said, we're not quite decided, but we will see once we release the next few GCs.
I certainly think it would be an interesting way of doing technology progression. For example, as the Ta'uri, not allowing your ships to have Azuran weapons until you've perhaps captured a ZPM or something like that, would be a very interesting way of going about technology progression. It would be an exciting thing to see. I don't know how implementable it is, having never modded Empire at War, though, so don't try too hard to do what I want you to do.
I noted it down, maybe we'll give it a try.
These things are always worth thinking about, aren't they? But only people who do the coding can really tell you if it's possible. And
yeah, indeed. We strongly rely on these people.
Oh yeah, it's a sins thing as well. Like there are loads and loads of things in Sins of a Solar Empire that we want to do, but the amount of things that we can do, well, that's a bit more limited.
I can see.
Did you
those sneaky darts.
My excellent defensive skills.
Got him on the run.
Actually, I must admit that you did incredibly well there. Did you lose any large ships at all?
No.
Nicely done, sir.
Because I am awesome.
And modest.
And modest as well. But I think we've seen quite a good representation of Galactic Conquest so far. I don't want to spoil the whole story, so I think I'm going to stop it there.
Want to. But one thing that we do want to touch on, and you mentioned it in the question prior to the last one I just asked, you talked about ground combat. Now, traditionally, Pegasus Chronicles, or I should say the Stargate mod for Empire at War, isn't it? And we've got something quite interesting to show you, which is an exclusive. Thank you very, very much for this, Clon. So should we sit down and have a little bit of a watch of that now, and then we'll come back?
Yes, please, enjoy.
Okay, let's do it.
You will not be far. I will consider your most generous offer. I will consider your most generous offer.
They're not attacking because they fear me.
but you know not.
You
I
dare approach me?
I will consider your most generous offer. So be it. I am Anubis. I will consider your most generous offer. Holy power.
Well, I have to say that was absolutely amazing. I've seen Anubis there with the face. He had the face. Chris,
Or the
he
lack
had
of
the
face.
Or the lack of face. But he shimmered. It shimmered in the video like he shimmers.
It was really, really cool. I really, really enjoyed that. And are they called the Cull Troopers? Is that what they're called?
Yes, indeed. Thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very glad that you enjoyed this small teaser of the ground part, which is, well, pretty much alpha. But as you can see, we have progress on that as well.
It's really good to see progress like that. I'm fully excited for it now. My body is ready.
I'm ready to play as Anubis. Because
So,
I like Anubis.
So when it comes to the land combat, it's as you've said, it's very early days. So if there's anything that you can't answer right now, that's absolutely fine. But we can see that you're working on it. We've already seen a hero there for you, which is, perhaps a villain rather than a hero. But we've seen Anubis himself. Are you planning on including other heroes, like perhaps members of the Stargate team or System Lords or anything like that?
Yes, indeed. We in the original mod we actually had some heroes coded, but they never actually had a unique model except Daniel Jackson for some reason. But with the new mod, we want to introduce custom models for more heroes like Anubis and the SG-1 team. Maybe we'll have some waist screens on the waist side, something like that. And that's pretty much one of the new things for the ground combat. It will get some more love with additional models, like you have seen the Carl Warriors were originally retextured Dark Troopers in the first incarnation of the mod.
I see.
So that is gone now, and stuff like that. So from the first phase, we pretty much try to reproduce the old combat system, but with some additions like unique models, and we will evolve from that.
I see. And from like the Wraith perspective, could we like hope to see such heroes as, say, for example, Michael? Would that be something that might be considered?
I don't want to get too much into the details now, but yes, that might be considered.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, as I say, I do know it's early days, so I don't expect you to give me 100% details on anything. But it looks really, really good, and I'm so excited about this. Now, just to say, ladies and gentlemen, don't get too excited about a release within the next couple of weeks. That's not going to happen. This is very much in development, and it is going to be a while. I'm not going to ask you for a date. It's rude to ask any modder for a date.
Yeah, we actually got into that trap again, so that's something I would like to, reveal during this video as well. That's for the GC, so for Pegasus Prelude, we sadly need to postpone the promised release before October to a date, in 2016. I don't want to go too much into a detailed date now because we, didn't manage to hold the original one.
I think that's entirely reasonable. I mean, when you look into mods and modding, it is something that a lot of people they do in their spare time. Most people have either got full-time jobs or full-time education, and you can really aim for a date, but you can never ever guarantee it. Things happen in life, and you may have a modeler who's been doing lots of work for you, and unfortunately he needs to go away or do something for a while, and that's progress will slow down as a result of that. So I think anybody who follows mods and loves mods will be totally understanding of that.
Yeah, we hope for that as well, because we are luckily feature ready by now, so everything gameplay related is in, but we need some more time to give it a proper QA, so we still have some issues in regards of stability and stuff like that. So actually, we just need some more time to polish the whole thing. So
Get rid of the
everyone,
ghosts in the code.
yeah, exactly. So everyone can enjoy it to the fullest in the end.
Absolutely, and that is 100% the best way to go about it. There's releasing something with bugs. It's a very hard thing to bear as a modder, so it's always better to do as much testing as you possibly can before it goes live to the public. And I salute you for that. I think it's a wise decision. I think this is pretty much our last big question. And can you kind of summarize for us what the future is going to hold for Pegasus and where it's going to go from here as a whole?
Yeah, of course. So after we finally released Pegasus Chronicles, we, as I said, will focus a bit more onto the ground part again, so that we actually try to have the ground skirmish as the next big thing for the mod, and then going to release GCs after GCs to enhance the possibilities for the player. And there might be some additions and changes to the space skirmish, but that is not the main focus for now. Additionally, we try to enhance the overall experience of the mod for everyone. So we got some reports in the past that our launcher, where you download the game and the mod, now I'm calling it game by myself, and we try to enhance everything for that as well. So we're trying to have a better download experience, to make the installations easier, so stuff like that as well.
Okay, that's fantastic. Now, I should probably just give the floor to Bane for a minute, because he's been busy playing and hasn't really asked that many questions. So is there anything that you've kind of thought of during while playing that you want to ask?
I think really you've kind of covered mostly everything. I think the only thing I can think of is what do you feel, Clon? I've got to ask the question kind of directly to you now. What do you feel is your favourite kind of faction in Pegasus Chronicles? I'm just always interested to know that from the developer standpoint, what their favourite one is.
Yeah, I need to be honest there. It's basically the Ancients, because they are, old, have these cool ship designs. The drone swarm. I really, thanked the coder for weeks that he made it like they are. And I'm really happy that we are having them now in their own campaign, so they actually get some more screen time than in the original mod.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I was quite sad, because I always felt Atlantis as a series was kind of like cancelled, as it was just getting really good, you know?
Yeah, it had the potential for much more scope, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very sad that Atlantis got cancelled. I'm very sad that all Stargate got cancelled, to be fair, because I loved the universe. I loved SG-1 and where it was going with the Aura. At least they finished that with a film, which I think was right. But, you know, I was just like, oh, Atlantis, no, don't go home yet.
Yeah. Universe is the most contentious one, isn't it? So some people love it, some people absolutely hate it. What's your take on that, Clon?
Well, actually, I enjoyed Stargate Universe. It took a while to pretty much take off, but I think it was a good call to give the characters time to introduce themselves and evolve, etc. And at the time they shut it down, I think that it was pretty much, more back to these things we were used to in the original series. Not quite the same, but more action, etc., which was the demand from many people who didn't enjoy the series because it was too much drama. But then, sadly, they shut it down, so we will never know where it will have been involved from that point.
Yeah.
I know. It's a shame. I think people readily disagree with me on this, but I think from an emotional perspective, I felt that Universe was actually stronger than the other series, because a lot of the more so SG-1 than Atlantis, but SG-1 particularly it was very episodic most of the time. Yeah. So I feel like while there was definitely character progression, it was almost forgotten at times because of the episodic nature of it for most of the series. Whereas it was it was purely linear when it came to universe. It was, some form of character progression in every episode, which I really appreciated.
You see, the thing about SG-1 though, there was progression, so the storyline did progress throughout the seasons, and you did note that their actions had
ramifications. Yeah,
ramifications
definitely.
later on in the series, which I kind of like. It's like, for example, the destruction of Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
And how they brought what was his name? Heruer, wasn't it? Is it Heruer? Because they destroyed the hammer, Heruer came down, and they had to actually find the Asgard, didn't they, to actually kick him off the planet.
Yep.
Can I ask a cheeky question that's just occurred to me?
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
this is to do with Pegasus Chronicles. So what's going on with the replicators?
Well, actually, they were the first idea for an additional fraction before we actually used the race, and there were, if you go to our ModDB profile and scroll to the very end of the images, you can actually see some models for them, even a space station. But at some point we decided it just don't feel right.
Okay, understandable.
So we decided, okay, we won't do that now, and we never came back to it actually, because the race they evolved from the idea to a pretty unique faction to play and fun to play, and therefore the replicators were dismissed. Well, you can argue that you have the Azurans, which are basically as well replicators, but they look like the ancients. So
yeah.
Oh, I think that's a really good answer. Right, do we have any further questions before we let you relax, Clon?
I think I am out of questions. I just want to play more Pegasus now. So
I want to get into the game myself.
Exactly, I'm waiting for the interview to end so I can actually play more.
Yeah, it's been frustrating me actually. I've just been watching you play because the way that we're actually doing this today is Bane is, of course, hosting a Skype call and sharing his screen, so I can't play at the same time. I've been sat here watching this, kind of itching to play it myself, but I haven't been able to because I need my screen. So thank you so much for joining us and answering some of our silly questions, Clon. It's been really, really enjoyable. And I, for one, I'm going to be following the mod very, very closely over the next few months.
yeah, thanks a lot for having us and me to present our project, and well, we will gladly come back if you're interested.
Well, actually,
we'd absolutely love that.
I was going to say that it would be great if we can get Origin and a few more of the team members to come, maybe do a live stream sometime if they're up for it. You know, we always like to get a little bit of a group if we can together, because you get some funny stuff happening on those kind of events, and I'm sure the fans, both on our channel and your own fans, would love to ask you guys questions live as well. So perhaps you consider that for us in the future when you feel you're ready to show us some more.
Yeah, that is obviously something we can have. Well, let's see what direction to this video is, and if the fans are interested, we are open for everything.
You heard it here first, guys. If you put some good comments on this video saying you would like a live stream, we will let Clon know, and he can let the other devs know for Pegasus Chronicles.
And ladies and gentlemen, show your support for Pegasus Chronicles. Do comment, and of course, in the comments below, you can ask the developers questions. I'm sure they'll be popping onto the video just to see what the reaction is. So they might want to answer some of your questions just right there and then.
Yeah, and absolutely download the current version of the mod as well, because you can already play this mod in terms of skirmish mode and have a go with some of the factions if you've not yet played it. So do give it a go. It's really fantastic fun. And there's some great clips from voices from the series in there as well. But I think that is pretty much all we need to show for tonight. So from me at least, it's goodbye, and from Clon.
Yep, thanks a lot. Bye bye, guys.
And from Gull.
This is the Gull, out.
See you later, guys. Good night.